Welcome to How to Get Over Your Ex, a podcast on getting over your ex without it just taking time. I'm your host, breakup coach Dorothy. Let's turn your pain into power and your heartbreak into happy. Hello, beautiful Braveheart. How are you doing today? I'm so excited to have you here. I do not have a regular podcast episode for you today. I simply just wanted to let you know that the Get Over Your Ex program is being turned into a course, or I should say it already is a course. And so the Get Over Your Ex course is now open for enrollment if you want just the curriculum. We launched and did enrollment for the Get Over Your Ex program, and that ended on Friday, June 14th. If that's something that you still desire to be a part of and you missed the deadline, you can definitely email my team, care@dorothyabjohnson.com if you would like to see if we can still allow individuals in. But because I'm going on maternity leave, there's a set cutoff date to make sure that your program is fulfilled within that time frame before I go on maternity leave. So I'm very excited that we have the Get Over Your Ex curriculum option for those of you who still want the material and still want to take the podcast and apply it to your life. It was really fascinating. I just did one of the live 5-day trainings that has been one of, I don't know if we want to call it a fan favorite, like a Braveheart favorite. People love the 5-day training. It is so good. But there is something that I wanted to come on and say today as we open enrollment to the course. And it's really near and dear to my heart. It means a lot to me. When I say the Get Over Your Ex program or the Get Over Your Ex course, it's way more than getting over your ex. It is about building a life that is bigger and better than the one that you have with your ex. And getting over your ex is just the first step. And I don't think people truly understand that. Especially like what I had gotten in terms of feedback for the 5-day training. I had a lot of individuals who were like, oh my gosh, I feel great. I feel over my ex. So I don't need the full programming. And listen, I am all about this. The fact that we are getting people over their ex in 5 days, amazing, awesome. But I just want to be clear that that is the first step, and the full programming of the Get Over Your Ex is much more about building your bigger and better life. And some of you aren't even at that first step, which is not a problem. But if so, get yourself in the program, get yourself into the course. In the 5-day training, you learn about what to do to begin that getting over your ex journey. And that's really important. But another piece that I find very important is to remember that we're taught that the whole purpose of learning something is to know it. But in my mind, the purpose of learning something isn't to just know it and logically have it in my brain. It is to master it. I want to learn something so that I can master it, not just so that I know it. And you cannot master something unless you put it into practice. Take the full programming, take the full course, get the coaching, and that's when you know you've quote unquote learned it, you've mastered it, you've put it into a practice that has actually changed and shifted your life. Not just trying to do this work, not just trying to figure this out. It's like you've put it into practice, you've truly mastered it, you've truly learned it. And I just see it time and time again, and I don't want people to get in how do I say this? I don't want people to trip over themselves, because I've seen it in myself and I have seen it in other individuals. And I think it's really important to just be direct about this. Our brain, your brain, sometimes stops you from making an investment in yourself. And I see it come through in a lot of ways. Of course it comes through in, we know enough now, or we're almost there, so I don't really need it. Or, I logically get this, or it's not about my ex, so I want to work on attachment. So then the Get Over Your Ex program isn't the right option. And I see that. Like I've seen it in myself before for different things, but the brain is stopping you because it's keeping you in homeostasis and playing it safe. And if you don't invest in yourself, I think what's fascinating is you don't have to bet on yourself. You don't have to do the work because you have nothing on the line. You don't have to actually change. And staying the same and staying safe seems easier to the brain, even though it's uncomfortable, even though you're in pain, or even though we're in this like mediocre or lackluster situation. The change can be so scary to the brain that the brain will keep you there and play it safe by saying, we know enough, we have what we need, we don't need to invest in ourselves. And like I said at the beginning of this, episode, is I agree. The 5-day training is wonderful. You guys, I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. But I promise you, you are worth more than 5 days. And what's crazy is there's like 1,000+ people who signed up for this 5-day training, and a lot of them followed through on all 5 days, which is so cool. But y'all, that was 5 days. So much change happened in 5 days to the point where you're like, oh, I'm good. But what would it be like to invest 3 months on yourself? To invest time, money, energy, all of that at once for a 3-month time frame, not just 5. You are worth more than 5 days of your life. And I love you. I want to say this because I want you to take advantage of the fact that the Get Over Your Ex program is never going to be run the same way that it is now. I'm sure it's going to be great, whatever I do next, but I want you to have the opportunity, and I want to make sure that your brain isn't just keeping you safe and keeping you in homeostasis and not changing. And I want to make sure that you know that you are worthy of investing that kind of money and 3 months of your time. You are worthy of that. And I know that. And so I love you. I hope everyone has an amazing day today. I hope you have an amazing week. If you didn't get into the Get Over Your Ex program, I hope you sign up for the Get Over Your Ex course and you put this into practice and you master it. I don't want you to just know it and know it logically. I want you to master it. All right. I'll put all the links in the show notes for you today. I love you all so much. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will talk to you next time. If you're loving the How to Get Over Your Ex podcast and you want to learn how to get over your ex in 3 months or less to build a life better than the one you thought you had with your ex, I would like to personally invite you to my next group course where we take everything you've learned here on the podcast and apply it to your life. Come check it out at www.lifecoachdorothy.com.